Good evening, one and all. I, on behalf of the Women's Cell, would like to welcome you to celebrate as a women our Women's International Day 2021. I would like to welcome our chief guest for the program, Sister Marlene, Father Clement de Lima, our parish priest, Father Glenn de Mello, our spiritual director of the Women's Cell, Father Falcao, who's on staff, and Father Patrick de Mello, who's running various courses for the Archdiocese of Bombay. The theme for the year is Choose to Challenge. And so, in keeping with this theme, we have arranged our programs for today. I now request everyone to stand and join in the Women's Creed and Anthem.
I believe in God, who revealed the two central mysteries of our faith through women, the incarnation through Mary and the resurrection through Mary Magdalene. I believe that when a woman from the town anointed the feet of Jesus, she anticipated Jesus' command to wash each other's feet as a sign of true discipleship. I believe that the Good Shepherd calls his own by name, and they follow him, for they know his voice. So too Jesus calls us women as his own, because Mary Magdalene is characterized as one of his own, since Jesus calls her by name and she recognizes his voice. I believe that God's image in me is dishonored when I am ill-treated, beaten, abused, or dehumanized. I believe that women's silence is breaking whenever we speak up for them and with them. I believe that no marriage can be solemnized where dowry is given or taken. I believe that God rejoices for the birth of each girl as for each boy, and that God wants to protest through us when female fetuses are aborted because they are female. I believe that our body is pure and holy, and that our liberation as women is guided by the Spirit. I believe in the femininity of the divine and the divinity of the feminine.
We are God's pillars in our own right, in home and community, the church and society. Life's stormy weather, standing up tall, woman a beacon of light. Woman, you have a commitment unto justice and equality, seeking, questioning, changing, making truth a reality. We are God's pillars in our own right, in home and community, the church and society. Life's stormy weather, standing up tall, woman a beacon of light. Woman, live not to surrender to the evils of inhumanity. Make a choice and you find the key to your own identity. We are God's pillars in our own right, in home and community, the church and society. Life's stormy weather, standing up tall, woman a beacon of light. Life is a miracle, a God-given gift. Let us give to everyone the dignity to live. We are God's pillars in our own right, in home and community, the church and society. Life's stormy weather, standing up tall, woman a beacon of light. Woman, a It is said that no event is complete without a prayer dance. So now I invite our ladies to enlighten us with a beautiful prayer dance.
क्या दे सकता हूँ, क्या ला सकता हूँ, कहता तुझे बस शुक्रिया। क्या दे सकता हूँ, क्या ला सकता हूँ, कहता तुझे बस शुक्रिया। तुझ में ही मेरी सुबह, तुझ में ही हर शाम, तुझसे ही करता शुरू हर कोई काम। तुझ में ही मेरी सुबह, तुझ में ही हर शाम, तुझसे ही करता शुरू हर कोई काम। शुक्रिया करता हूँ मैं लेके तेरा नाम, आदर और धन्यवाद आज तेरे नाम। शुक्रिया, शुक्रिया, शुक्रिया तेरा, शुक्रिया, शुक्रिया, शुक्रिया यीशु तेरा। सारी दुनिया तेरी है, सब कुछ तूने रचाया है। सारी दुनिया तेरी है, सब कुछ तूने रचाया है। मुझको भी तूने बनाया है, तेरे जैसा किया है। क्या दे सकता हूँ, क्या ला सकता हूँ, कहता तुझे बस शुक्रिया। वो क्या दे सकता हूँ, क्या ला सकता हूँ, कहता तुझे बस शुक्रिया। शुक्रिया, शुक्रिया तेरा, शुक्रिया, शुक्रिया, शुक्रिया यीशु तेरा।
And now an introduction of our chief guest. Future belongs to those who believe in the power of their dreams. Sister Marlene joined the congregation of the Sisters of the Holy Spirit in Germany in the year 1966. After the religious formation, she has done her MSW in Germany and then returned to India, Chanda Mission, Chandrapur district in the year 1974. She served in the rural areas to the extent by identifying the poorest of the poor in the village, living with them, eating the same food, and doing the same work. Years of experience, especially with the women in tribals who are the victims of exploitation, she emerged to the study of law in the year 1993. She also collaborated with the students' movement, especially enlightening the values of to be human to the students and youth. She has also done counseling and neuro-linguistic programming. Winners do not do things differently. They do things differently. She further served the victims of earthquake at Latur from 1994 till 1998, where she had a narrow escape from the anti-social groups. During this period, she happened to meet Advocate Colin Gonsalves from Mumbai in the year 1998, who came to Latur to study the situation of earthquake area. He invited her to Mumbai, and thus she reached Mumbai in the month of June 1998. Since then, she is with various activities, also fighting in the courts for the oppressed group of the society. Initially, she was a drastic change from village to city life. Then, she slowly involved with the trade unions, practiced in labor court, and then shifted to family court, especially defending the family disputes. She runs Shantigar, a shelter home for the victimized women and children, involving counseling, legal advice, as well as settlement of family disputes outside the court. I now invite Sister Marlene to come and speak a few words to us.
Good day to each and everyone who are gathered here for this great day of International Women's Day. First of all, I thank you all for inviting me on this occasion to be as a chief guest. This year for the International Women's Day, we have chosen a beautiful theme, Choose to Challenge. What is to challenge? Who has to challenge? And whom has to challenge? When women move forward, the world moves with them. International Women's Day is celebrated all over the world, uniting the women for a greater cause. It is a day when women are recognized for their achievements without regard to divisions, whether national, ethnic, linguistic, cultural, economic or political. It is an occasion for looking back on past struggles and accomplishments, and for importantly, for looking ahead to the untapped potentialities and opportunities that await future generations of women. Yet, there are few loopholes in our society to be mentioned. Women are treated still as a second-class citizens in various aspects. It is evident that we all like to have a mother, grandmother, sister, aunt, and a girlfriend. Unfortunately, even today, most of us prefer a boy child than a girl child. In our society of Bombay, many women are left because they gave baby girl in the family, and some are searching for divorce. However, our families have to play a vital role to change the discriminating attitude towards women in every stage of life. We should think before we fight with the evil in the world, fight evil within us, within our families, within our society. The most and best example and model of us today is Media Mother, a dwelling place of God. So we all are meant to the mothers of God, love, compassion, forgiveness, justice and truth, to challenge the world to change. People think it is easy to pull down a standing tree, but they do not know how deep its roots are spread. In the same way, most people look at us women as weak and feeble. Yet, women are like bamboo plants, which bend till it touches the earth but never break. Women represent the neck of the human body and the men represent the head. Let them be the head. With due respect, you turn your neck. The head will automatically turn to the same direction. When we look at the trees, all like the shade to take rest, but only few become a shade for others. Be sure that is we women, because women develop we attitude than I, as she serves selflessly the family, society and the world at large. So we become wellness as I stand for illness. With these thoughts, we gathered here for a collective action to promote and challenge the world to make a better place to live. The above examples I noted from the nature to come closer to the law of the nature, giving and taking. Today we come across thousands of problems before us. However, I would highlight a few issues for dialogue and for individual as well as collective decisions. The first issue is pandemic. The outbreak of COVID-19 has had caused and continuing significant social, spiritual, political and economic consequences worldwide. It is profoundly affecting the individual due to isolation, schools shut down, social distance, cause mental trauma, fear, anger, depression, and side effects of the sickness. It is obvious that there are few positive sides also. In the families, parents spare time for their children and to retrospect the life realities and the values to hold beyond wealth, positions, and power. On the other side, we can say that it is a blessing in disguise. Since it has affected the entire world, the collaboration of countries with helping hands for each other is remarkable. Otherwise, the world would have collapsed, which is good to reflect the version of the Dalai Lama, Tibetan religious leader. To accumulate wealth, we sacrifice our health. Then to restore our health, we spend the wealth. Due to anxiety for future, we do not enjoy today's life. We live forgetting death, yet die without living. Therefore, it is a challenge before us to restore the lost health due to pandemic with a collective dialogue followed by action plans. The second challenge before us is the farmers' agitation in our country. As a matter of fact, 50% of the farmers are women, and they are close to the nature and fight for their rights. We all have solidarity with them, yet we fail to take any initiative to bring these allegations as a successful one to feed the hungry. Those who raise their voice for justice, to challenge the government, to support the people who are treated unfairly, unjustly oppressed. The writers, intellectuals, journalists, human rights activists are unjustly imprisoned by false allegations leveled against them. The greatest violence is the silence of the individuals. So, come forward with courage to fight against injustice by breaking the silence. The third current issue is the domestic violence. Girls and women are unsafe in their own families due to sexual abuse by relatives. Most of us all think in terms of protecting them with huge prison walls. What challenge before us to revolve this existing evil and come out with strategy for women to live in this mother earth fearlessly basically who is responsible, who educate the future generation. In the families, parents have a busy schedule, unavoidable to provide a time and space for the children to play with them, to direct them, to lead them constructively. Most of the parents concentrate only on the study of the children, always study, 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 but forget that the only exam they are unable to pass is their life. The third current issue is the domestic violence. Girls and women are unsafe in their own families due to sexual abuse by the relatives. Most of us all think in terms of protecting them with huge prison walls. What challenge before us to revolve this the existing evil and come out with a strategy for women to live in this mother earth fearlessly? Basically, who is responsible? Who educate the future generation? In the families, parents have a busy schedule, unavoidable to provide time and space for the children to play with them, to direct them, to lead them constructively. Most of the parents concentrate only on the study of the children, study, 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 but forget that the only exam they are unable to pass is their life. Each day is a lesson for them to learn, and this learning process is very important. Children from the broken families like to hold toys or pistols in their hands to retaliate because it affected the mental health of the children. For example, we have women and children of shelter home. Most of the boys below 66, they want only pistol. When I asked one day to one boy, why do you want pistol? He said, I want to shoot my father. He has beaten my mother so badly. So I want to tell it. A small child's heart speaking. Children are overfed with more material things. What is not needed for their growth. When unexpected situations arise, it leads them to commit suicide, drug addictions, consumption of excess liquor, rape, etc. are the end results. 70 years ago, I was born. My parents were farmers, more children at home. Only basic needs met. Food, water, shelter, education, minimum healthcare facilities. No luxury seen during my childhood. Out of those situations, our minds are developed for caring, loving, and compassion to work for the least and the last, and respect for each other. This attitude we have to inculcate our children to make our houses a living home. Our children should get touch with our Mother Earth, that they come to know where the food they eat come from. When I look back these years, I have been in Bombay more than 20 years. Many women and children have come. I have fought cases in the courts, and I have seen young girls, teenagers, who were misused by the father, by the brother, by the uncles, and by the friends. One way they were ashamed to tell the truth. They were scared, and sometimes they become very calm and quiet, withdrawn from their friends. In this last week, I had a person who was married for 9 years, but he could not relate with his wife and no children. And the wife was using always abusive language towards him. He works in the ship. When he comes back for 3 months, there was no peace at home. And he has to work in the house, swapping, cleaning, cooking, and even she will tell him why that dirt is dirt. Then slowly in the counseling he started to cry. Then I asked what happened. So he said, "Sister, I have not yet confessed my sins in any confessional father. But today, I don't know, my heart is moved." He said, when he was 10 years old, his uncle was misused him. His father was abroad. Mother was the only one to look after. So he could not tell anyone what happened to him. And throughout the school time, all the students, all the teachers, all friends, everybody was calling with a nickname, and he was so isolated, he did not have a single friend. But after the 10th, he somehow managed to get the degree. Then he said, all the nicknames what my friends were using, now my wife is using it. Then after some time, he said, second point, my father was not there, and we 2 brothers, and he was the eldest. And the other brother already got married. He said, for 27 years, I was sleeping beside the mother. Even the father has returned from job, he did not give the place to his father to sleep with the mother. So father started to use abusive language, making comments. So all these pains were struggling in his mind. And his wife, one word she said, the father is good, mother is a bitch. So that is the language she used. And then finally he told why he was sleeping there. He had an excuse. He said, I had a fear of ghosts. But then that day he realized what was wrong with him. And then he said, I think I am free now. Now I can be happy in my future. But the sad story, the wife was a perfectionist. She was far outgoing person and she wants everything accurate. And that's why she could not go to the shoes of the other person and she could not enjoy again with me. But the demand was, I want a home. And that only she got. I was very sad. Though we were trying for a reconciliation, the family, her parents had come, I counseled them. But certain points, we women are unable to correct our daughters. Mothers have a soft corner and they don't direct. So they support the daughter, which becomes more worse in the married life. My dear mothers and sisters, I want to tell you, once your son and daughter married, leave them free in their own. Let them struggle, let them live their life. You are not supporting them by encouraging the unwanted things to enter their life. That is my request for today's program, which I really pray for, that women against women, we have to stop this kind of attitudes. Now, the fourth issue is environment. The words of Khalil Gibran remind us what we are doing with our Mother Earth. How generous you are, how strong is your yearning for your children. But we define and you sanctify. We sleep without dreams, but you dream your eternal wakefulness. We pierce your bosom with swords and spears, and you dress our wounds with oil and balsam. We empty our waste in your bosom, and you fill our threshing floor with wheat, sheaves and wine presses with grapes. We extract your elements to make canoes and boats, but out of our elements you create lilies and roses. How patient you are, Mother Earth, and how merciful. Take it to our hearts and make it a challenge to protect our Mother Earth. While we exploit the nature by deforestation, quarries, destroy in the name of development, also in the name of comfort, we forget our future generations to preserve electricity, water, and land. The paper we use is an outcome of many trees we fell. Teach the future generations to spare many of those things and protect the nature, avoiding plastics, excess vehicles to prevent air, water, and pollutions. Otherwise, you can continue with the mask you use against corona to breathe polluted air. Teach your children to touch the earth, work and play in the mud with plants and flowers. Nature will teach you everything. Protect the nature. Raise your voice collectively against environmental violations. If you do the right thing, the end is better than the beginning. Look beyond the clouds and see the bright sunshine. Take courage, go ahead, and dispel the evils by putting the armor of light. Challenge, the world becomes bright. Thank you for your patient hearing and wish you all once again a happy Women's Day.
Thank you, Sister Marlene. Your talk was so inspiring. I would now like to speak about the various activities carried out by the Women's Cell in 2020. In June, we attended online the orientation program hosted by the Women's Commission, Archdiocese of Bombay. About 90 people attended it, and it was all about taking our Women's Cell ministry online. Due to the lockdown, we had all our meetings online, and we carried out activities in our neighborhoods like cooking food and distributing it to the needy. We bought medicines, groceries, etc. for the sick and the housebound, accompanied people to the hospitals, donated money to the maids and watchmen in the society, and many of us phoned people to inquire about their well-being. Menstrual menopause session was conducted by Health Promotion Trust by Rocky Barnes, and it taught us the 9 problems faced by women. Making a Will by Advocate Eileen Marcus. This session taught us how to make a correct will. Work from Home by Leslie D'Souza, Astrid Lobo, Christine, Nathan, and Dr. Ruth D'Souza. About 180 people attended this program, and it was all on the challenges and opportunities on working from home. Program for the mental health of senior citizen was held by Nirmala Sawant and Yatin Game. In September, we celebrated Girl Child Day online in our parish. We started with opening prayer, welcome speech, a video on various girl child personalities throughout the world, and a PowerPoint presentation of the program Best Out of Waste, and last, vote of thanks. The Andheri Deanery had a joint meeting of all parishes in Andheri. Father Anthony, Father Glenn, Sunita Machado attended this program, which was conducted by Jennifer Koladkar, our Deanery coordinator. Violence Free Family Day celebrated by Andheri Deanery online, and the theme was Myths and Realities of Domestic Violence. Kurla Deanery theme was Silence Hides Violence. Borivali Deanery theme was Violence Stops When You Start to Change. Binder deanery was on posh for women at the workplace. Christmas stall. Due to the lockdown, we conducted the sale of last year's items online and got a good response. And we also thank all our parishioners for buying and supporting us. Now we have Barbara, an active member of the Women's Cell, and now she will be singing a song to us.
I messed up tonight, I lost another fight. I still mess up, but I just start again. I keep falling down, I keep on hitting the ground. I always get up now to see what's next. Birds don't just fly, they fall down and get up. Nobody learns without getting it wrong. I won't give up, no I won't give in until I reach the end, and then I'll start again. No I won't leave, I wanna try everything, I wanna try even though I could fail. I won't give up, no I won't give in until I reach the end, and then I'll start again. No I won't leave, I wanna try everything, I wanna try even though I could fail. Try everything, try everything, try everything, look how far you've come, you fill your heart with love, baby you've done enough, take a deep breath, don't beat yourself up, don't need to run so far, sometimes we come last but we did our best. I won't give up, no I won't give in until I reach the end, and then I'll start again. No I won't leave, I wanna try everything, I wanna try even though I could fail. I won't give up, no I won't give in until I reach the end, and then I'll start again. No I won't leave, I wanna try everything, I wanna try even though I could fail. I'll keep on making those new mistakes, I'll keep on making them every day, those new mistakes. Try everything, try everything, try everything.
Thank you, Barbara. I hope all the women who are watching this event enjoyed the song and got inspired by it. After a fun-filled song, I will now like to call upon 5 panelists for a panel discussion.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Women's Cell panel. So today in the discussion we have with us 5 beautiful women. Now who are these 5 beautiful women? So I'd like to introduce them. The first one that we have amongst us is Leena Triad.
I'm working for a shipping company. I've been married for just over a year now.
Next we have with us is Nisha Lopez.
Hi everyone, this is Nisha Lopez. I'm a teacher by profession, also belonging to St. John Evangelist Church, and I'm glad to be invited here to sit among beautiful ladies for the same discussion.
The next woman that we have with us is Esperanza Payton.
Hi everyone, this for 43 years and I have 2 grandchildren. And I am also actively involved in church activities, mainly being an animator in the community.
Hello everyone, I am Mrs. Martin and I have been married for the last 38 years. I'm not only a mother, but also a grandmother to 2 little adorable children. I was working in an organization for many years till I retired. Thereafter, I've been very actively involved in many of the cells and associations of this very vibrant parish of St. John the Evangelist. And I'm happy to be here this evening in one more activity conducted by our parish by the Women's Cell.
And the last person that we have with us today is Prerna Sahu.
Hello everyone, as introduced, my name is Prerna and I am an architect by profession and I also teach catechism in our parish of St. John the Evangelist. I have been part of the catechism in our parish for the past 5 years and I strive to bring about the aspect of our faith in my profession as well as my social life. I'm so glad to be here on this topic. Thank you.
Now that we know our 5 panel members today, I would like to start with the first question. That is, what is the biggest challenge faced by women all over the world and why do you think that it is the biggest challenge? So the first person that I would like you to keep forward is Neena.
Okay, I mainly feel that women are faced with the two big challenges, and all the other challenges would probably be under the umbrella of those two challenges. So the first challenge as an Indian woman is facing the mentality of our society, where a woman is expected to do household work, to manage the house, manage the children, and even if it means at the cost of sacrificing her talents or her own ambitions. And the second biggest challenge which we women face is the challenge of giving birth. That is something that only we can do, and once we are done with it, our lives change. We have to stop thinking about every other thing and focus only on the baby, on the home, on its upbringing. So these are the two challenges which I feel all women face every day.
Now I would like Isha to please give us her views.
So today we all speak about gender equality and that women are not really any lower than men, although biologically we are made differently. The question here asked is the biggest challenge about a woman, and why in a nutshell I would say so that we have similar challenges as man. A lot of us are soul-bred earners, and so we do have responsibilities of raising our children, ensuring the good health of our family, and in the bargain most of us and most of the time we ignore our health, mental and physical well-being. So a woman has to put up a smile on her face and just say like I'm fine and I'm okay. So I feel that's the biggest challenge for a woman today.
Thank you, Isha. Next, I would like Esperanza to please give us her views.
The expectations to succeed. We all try hard to be the best cook, the best wife, and the best mother. We try to keep our houses perfect, but sometimes we fail once in a while. It does not make us weak. We learn and we become stronger. We have to learn not to compete with the others, but we have to be content with ourselves. Then only we can respect ourselves and respect others.
Thank you. Next, I would like Sandy to give us her views.
According to me, one of the biggest challenges about being a woman is that she simply needs to be a multitasker. Today life has changed.
so much. And in our modern day, it is a completely different scenario. Earlier, the woman was expected to be just a homemaker, tending to the needs of her family. But today, she needs to and she wants to earn a living as well. If you look around, you'll see in very many situations, in both the higher and lower strata of society, a woman can be employed in an office or be a teacher at a school, or she also wants to be self-employed. That is, she could start a baking class at home, run a cookery class, or give tuitions, run a beauty parlor from a house, or conduct art classes, anything. Look at our maids. They also want to go and work just in order to supplement the income of the family. So the woman, besides being a homemaker, feels the responsibility and the necessity to contribute to the income of the family just so that her family can enjoy a better quality of life. However, besides being a woman, she also needs to look at the other options in her life, meaning that, as earlier said, she is required to give birth to a child. She has to raise up that child, run the home, plan the budget for the month, etc., etc. And all these tasks she can do. And at one moment you can be cooking a dish, the next you run to the bathroom and start the machine on, the third she could be looking at her child's homework assignment, and so on and so forth. The list goes on. She's blessed, however, by God to handle these jobs simultaneously. With all due respect, of course, to men who can also handle these jobs, but he needs his time and his space and wants to do each of them separately.
Thank you so much, Sandy. Next person that I would like to ask to share her views is our final panelist, Prerna.
Okay, so the question is, what is the biggest challenge that a woman faces in today's time? I feel the challenge faced by women in today's time is simply being a woman. Be it with respect to your professional life, be it respect to your family, be it respect to just the society. Being a woman has become even more challenging than in the past. As rightly said by all the other four panelists, they were specifically pointing out to giving birth, to being a mother, being the sole breadwinner, raising a child and also working. So also to encompass within that, I would say women nowadays, they are coming in the forefront, and nobody likes, or rather, many of us don't like women being part of the authority or the leadership part in an organization, be professional, political, or anything. So I feel even just being a woman is one of the biggest challenges. Because we have to be so careful. When you're out there, you're wondering, oh, whether I'm safe. When you are getting late at work, you're wondering, oh, what will I go and feed home to my children? Who will cook the food? Has the child slept? Has my husband eaten? Have my in-laws taken their medicines, if at all you're married? Even if when you're single, you're wondering as to, am I enough, as a person? So I feel in today's time the biggest challenge is just being a woman is the biggest challenge.
I think all their views, if you summarize all their views, I think what we get to learn is that being a woman is only a challenge. So like, if you give birth to a daughter, you can tell her that, there is, being in this world is a challenge in general. I think all our panelists will agree to that. So yes, thank you so much. Now the next question that we have is a very And personally, it's my favorite question. So, the second question that we have for all our panelists today is, do you think that women are faced with much more challenges compared to men? Now, if the answer is yes, they still have to give us a reason. Or if the answer is a no, then do they have to give us a reason? So, I would like Prerna to start this.
I would bring it down to a regional level, given the question, because as you see in different parts of the world, this question would be dealt very differently. So, given this question, I feel that when you come from a South Asian region, when your upbringing and the kind of society that you live in, who wants you to be completely, family oriented and focus on, settling down. And so I feel that when it comes to whether we face, more challenges than man, I feel the answer is obviously yes. Some of them may beg to differ because it also, it also depends on our stature in society, or rather our status. So if we come from a very privileged background, we may not find so much of so much of comparison, or whether we face more challenges than men or no. Also, I feel that if you have a brother at home, if you are two siblings and if you are a daughter and if you have a brother, there's always this comparison, and the expectations from either of them again are very different. Wherein that is because we come from that kind of a society. So I feel that that kind of mentality is also changing, but it still needs work, and of course women face much more challenge than men because from the kind of region we belong to.
Thank you so much. Next, I would like Bonna Sandy to give us her views.
Yes, in my opinion, women are faced with more challenges than men. Now here I'm making a very general statement and not really pinpointing to someone in particular or an organization or the government or whatever. From earliest times, women have been considered equal sex. And even though today we have reached the digital age, the mindset somehow seems to have not changed much. The verbal statements are made by governments and other organizations. The harsh reality is really different. Perhaps in cities not so much, but definitely in rural India. Starting with the home. At the birth of a baby boy, the entire community, not only the family, rejoices. If it's a girl, her face is downcast. Next, her education. Often she is not even allowed to go to school. She is denied educational rights. And so being in the family, she is always subjected to her father, her brothers, the male authority. Then next step, if she is married off to a good family, well and good. If not, she could be subjected to domestic violence. Verbal, emotional, mental, physical, the list goes on. Coming to the workplace, women are often denied equal job opportunities. They are denied promotions even when they have worked so very hard. Sometimes they have to even settle for a lesser salary. Sexual harassment, what do you say about that in the workplace? It is still rampant, but women in particular, don't speak up, and even if she does, how many support her? The rape cases, you open newspapers today, they are countless. And where is the justice being given to the victims? All those false statements made by our government never really happened. Sexual harassment in public places, railway stations, buses, trains. A woman has to face teasing at some point of her life or the other. So men do not face these kind of situations. I won't say they have it on a platter, but they are definitely placed better than us. Not to talk of the dowry system. It is said that it's a abolished, but I can vouch for it. It is still very much existing, especially in our rural area. And if the woman is, parents are not asked for dowry, then of course the girl has to be pretty, well educated, and earning a good salary. Why? Why all these differences when it comes to a woman? And it happens at all levels of society. But to sum it all, in the Bible we are told, God made man and woman equal. Jesus treated men and women equally. And it is my sincere desire that all of society would follow this as well, and particularly every family. Encourage your girl child, encourage women.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sandy. Grant Sandy to give us her views.
Of course, as we not only have to succeed at a workplace, we also have to look after the family and the children at home. The kids, they do not ask their dad, what's for dinner? But they come to their mom. We have to change this outlook by making our sons more independent as our daughters, so that they can be better partners in the future. Most of the time, the women are taken for granted, and they are seldom appreciated.
Thank you so much, Esther and Sandy. Next we have with us Nisha. Please share your views.
So women are faced with more or less challenges that really doesn't matter. I am a very strong believer of the fact that your shoe is yours and my shoe is mine. As long as we take responsibility both equally of our own choices and actions, definitely our shoe fits us well. It's about time now that we start to stop blaming the world and start taking charge of our own lives. Because if you look at it, women have a lot more opportunities today, and not nevertheless, we are even calling for touchdown on Mars. More challenges and more the opportunities that will grow for women. I have two good examples. One is Christina Koch, who went to space during the lockdown. That's May 4th, and she landed here on Earth, back on the planet, on Feb 6th, 2021. 328 days without her family. Ambitious, and has made name for herself, where she's definitely looked at opportunities. Even Hima Das, for that matter, of our country, who has won medals in athletics for our country, has even been elected as the DSP of Assam. So look at the opportunities rather than the challenges that we face. And I think we women are definitely in the forefront.
Thank you so much, Aunty Nisha. Next up we have with us Leena. I would like her to give us her views.
Okay. With regards to the question whether women face more challenges than men, yes, and a very big yes. Considering that we come from a country where, like I said earlier, the women are supposed to look after the house. If you want to have a career, that's your choice. But then no compromising on the family life, no compromising on the kids, no compromising on your relatives and functions and festivals. There are a lot of things where we women have to struggle twice as compared to men. So because if it is a working lady, then after she finishes her shift of 9 to 5, she has to come home and manage the cooking, manage the sweeping, the cleaning, the kids, and then she will sit back and take that 1 hour or 1.5 hours to complete the presentation which her boss has given, versus a man who will finish his 9 to 5 shift, come back home, eat the meal prepared by his mom or his sister or his mother, and then sit on the presentation, get it done, and then probably have leisure time for himself. So in almost every context, we have a lot of multitasking to do, and definitely we face more challenges than any man. Not to say that men don't have challenges; they have their personal things, personal challenges as well. But then because some things are, the female domain, and they continue to remain so even today.
Thank you so much, and a very big thank you to all our panelists. So yes, finally my favorite question was answered, and I am really happy with the answers that we got. And I think we all as women share this view about us facing much more challenges than men. And yes, men do face these challenges. It's not like they don't, but the ratio I think is more when it comes to women. So I think thank you so much. All our panelists have summarized it really well. Now we have the third and last question, which is, how do you as women personally face these challenges that are like given to you all on a day-to-day basis, like day-to-day life basis? So I would like Leena to start.
Okay. I am, when I introduced myself, I said I've been married for slightly over a year now. I would like to add to that, I have a mixed marriage. My husband is a Maharashtrian and I'm a Catholic. So yes, the biggest challenge in my day-to-day life is managing my family life when I'm with my in-laws. I have to be cautious with about what I say. I have to be cautious about what I prepare, the food, their adapting their culture. So that is a challenge for me. That is a challenge for a lot of women who decide to marry outside their community. I am fortunate. I am blessed with supportive in-laws, no doubt. But then that's not the same for a lot of women around, I can say. Another challenge which in my day-to-day life, of course, is balancing my work and my family life. So I work for a European shift, and then again it comes down to getting up, preparing the food, and then sitting back and working, and then again the evening preps, and then managing my in-laws' place, and being there for my mom. So there are a lot of things, and then I just go about doing one thing at a time. That is the only thing that we can do, and get by and smile and just manage the situation.
Thank you so much, Meena. So yes, finally my favorite question was answered, and I am really happy with the answers that we got. And I think we all as women share this view about us facing much more challenges than men. And yes, men do face these challenges. It's not like they don't, but the ratio I think is more when it comes to women. So I think thank you so much. All our panelists have summarized it really well. Now we have the third and last question, which is, how do you as women personally face these challenges that are like given to you all on a day-to-day basis, like day-to-day life basis?
Okay. Given all the views shared by my co-panelists and also the general challenges that we all faced as women, in my day-to-day life, I would say the first, like one of the major challenge is when you go out and when you are, I come from a technical field. So when I go for site visits, sometimes I'm the only female out there, and the rest all the workers, to the other contractors, to supervisors, they are all male. And you realize that you are surrounded by so many, people from the opposite gender, and most of the times the eyes directly or indirectly are on you. Secondly, it's also you have to, sometimes it becomes difficult to hold your ground
challenges I face, there are a few points I would like to bring out. The first is keeping Jesus as my invisible friend, so that keeps my soul in check. The second is to have a family to help me out when I need a little bit of extra help. The third is to have a good set of friends to help me be me and relax and to be a girl again. The fourth is to have a good companion, either a friend or in a family, somebody to whom I can sound all my problems, and whether to know I have dealt with my problem in the right way. Because sometimes we do things out of habit and not thinking whether it's the right thing or the wrong. So then we have somebody to correct. So we need a good companion to guide. And sometimes my inner voice may not be right. And last but not the least, it is prayers. At the start of the day, I need to be guided by the Holy Spirit so that I'm always enlightened, my mind is enlightened how I go about my day. Thank you.
Yes, being a person who has to play multi-roles in a span of 24 hours, I definitely have a set of, I would say, large challenges, but small challenges daily. And to help me overcome those little roadblocks sometimes, I, for a fact, know that God planned to create me a female. And if He planned to create me as a girl turned into a woman, then I know for certain that He will stand by me. So each morning when I wake up, I surrender my day to Him, my life to Him, asking Him to be the center of my very existence and help me to overcome all the challenges which will come my way through the day. And I know He is there with me all through the day. So the last breath that I take at night is always a thank you to Him. I surrender myself to Him, and His grace takes me through the night, through the day, to face all my challenges. The next thing that helps me to face my little roadblocks, as I said, is my very strong spousal support, my family support. My husband and my children give me all the help, all the support, all the cooperation I need to live my daily life. The third is that I pay attention to my health, because if I don't keep good health, I won't be able to overcome my challenges. Therefore, I pay attention to a balanced diet, some amount of exercise, and the required medication. The fourth is I love to indulge in some small hobby, and reading is one of my favorites. So, whenever time permits, I curl up with a book, at least for some time, so that relaxes my mind, besides also music and having a good laugh or chat with friends. These are some of the ways which lighten my burdens for the day and makes me a wholesome and a whole person, thus helping me to overcome my challenges and to live a fulfilled life. Thank you.
As a teacher by profession, I play several roles throughout the day in my class. So in school I'm a teacher, also a mother to that child, sometimes even a doctor, and back home, a mother again, a daughter-in-law, a daughter. So there are a lot of roles that we all play in our day-to-day life. I can't be harsh to my kids when I go there in the morning and meet them, because being a parent, I know that if I'm taking care of 26 in the class, there's someone taking care of mine back in his class. So for me, keeping my emotional balance, my well-being to the T, and ensuring that my day really goes well, even though it's been a hard day to get there to school, and at the back of our mind we always have some thoughts going, what's going on at home. But keep that smile on our face and let the day go well. As they all say, the show must go on, so I believe life has to go on. But these challenges, let's put it up with a smile and we should carry them most bravely as we are brave women of our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much once again to all our panelists. I think all the three answers that we've got, like all the three questions that were answered by our panelists today were just so spot on. They have given us an overview as to how women feel in today's time and how they have always felt and how they will still feel if we don't take steps to improve the challenges that are faced by them. And I think they have really summarized it all really well in just three questions that were asked to them. So I hope that this discussion enlightens the minds of the future generation as to, even if this is a boy watching the video, it's a man, it's a woman or it's a girl. No matter who watches this video, I hope you all feel enlightened by whatever views they shared and you all help the woman in your life, or you as a woman help other women in your life and yourself to become much more happier by facing these challenges in a much more better and courageful way. So thank you so much to all our 5 panelists today. Myself, Pranita, I am signing off officially, and thank you so much to all our viewers for waiting and hearing all our beautiful panelists. Thank you.
All these views are an eye-opener to many, and for that, I would like to thank all our panelists. We now have a special short skit in store for all our lovely ladies. So now sit back and enjoy it.
Time before and in 2019. Here's a family of 3, father, mother and child, who've been doing their work and following their duties individually and independently.
Christabel, have you finished your homework?
Yes, mommy, I went for tuition, so the teacher helped me with it.
Sweetheart, please get me a cup of tea. I'm exhausted with my work and the traffic to get back home.
Yes, I know that traffic is terrible these days.
This was their daily routine until March 18, 2020, when the lockdown hits India.
How are we going to manage? Will this end soon? How long are you going to be working from home? Are they going to pay you the full salary?
Of course, sweetheart, this will get over soon. You don't have to worry.
Christabel, your online classes start tomorrow. How are you going to manage yourself?
Mommy, you please sit with me. Other mothers are also sitting with their children.
I've got to take care of the cooking, cleaning and other work. Please sit with Christabel.
I will go and do my work.
Okay, Christabel, I'll sit down with you. We'll try to do something about it.
Days passed to weeks and weeks to months. The entire routine of this family changed until one day,
I'm tired. I'm not getting any helping hand from you. Have you even tried to understand? We have been missing our prayer time.
How can we help it? The situation is such.
Don't blame the situation. Instead, look at the solution to the situation.
How?
Let's distribute the work. You can sit with Christabel for some time till your work begins. She has lecture only for 2 hours. By that time, I will finish my cleaning and cooking.
Oh yes. A lunch time won't be delayed either. I can help you in cleaning. And by this, we can share our household work. And the inequality won't be there.
So dear friends, can we all agree that cooking and cleaning is a basic life skill and not a gender role? This 2021, let's share our work with and within our family members. It's never too late if you start today. Thank you.
Families, can be hard to handle at times, especially during this pandemic. But a little understanding helps us to keep the peace. We would now like to take you all through our past Women's Cell memories. We now have our spiritual director, Father Glenn DeMello, to deliver a vote of thanks.
Dear Reverend Fathers, Sisters, Chief Guest, and all my dear people, and especially my Women's Cell members, and thank you for watching our Women's International Day program on YouTube. It is my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion of International Women's Day 2021, Choose to Challenge. First and foremost, I would like to thank God, the Almighty Father, Lord Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit for the inspiration and for the guidance of this program. I would also like to thank Sister Merlin for willingly accepting our invitation to be chief guest of our program and also to enlighten us on her experience about uplifting of women fighting for their justice and for their rights. And she has explained beautifully in 4 points. May God continue to shower His blessings on her, on her good work, and on her congregation, and may God protect her and keep her in His love. I would also like to thank our parish priest, dear Father Clement Dilima, for his constant guidance, encouragement, and support, and my parish team, Father Philip Falcao, Father Patrick DeMello, for their prayers and for their support. I would like to thank Jennifer Kolatkar, Andheri Deanery Coordinator, Sunita Machado, Executive Secretary, Father Anthony Fernandez, Ecclesial Advisor, and Bishop in Charge, Bishop Bartol Barreto of Women's Commission in the Archdiocese of Bombay. And I'd like to thank all the women of Women's Cell who have taken active part to put this program together. I would start with prayer dance by Helen, Benna and Regina, singing by Barbara, talk show by Pranita, Bernice SP, Nisha, Lena and Prerna. And also for poem by Barbara, Evita, Dorina and Rosie, and skit by Barbara, Nisha and Christabel. I would like to thank also for those who have helped us in putting this program together. That is Prerna and Pranita. They have always been there for Women's Cell, for teaching dance, for backdrops and for other various needs, and today in a very special way for the entire video that you all are watching right now. May God continue to shower His blessings on Prerna, Pranita and in their career. My dear friends, thank you very much for being with us for this program of International Women's Day. Wishing you all a happy and a proper celebration of Women's Day by respecting them and honoring them in our everyday life. God bless you and thank you, and let us challenge ourselves and choose to challenge one another. Thank you once again.